The pageantry that is March Madness rolling on here on ESPN. We're almost ready for the start of Texas A&M and Memphis from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, part of the South region in the Sweet 16, getting underway now here on ESPN. We're going to send you out to the start of that one just as soon as they are ready. But, well, we've got some action already starting. Kansas and Southern Illinois. As we look at the starting lineup for Kansas, Bill Self in his fourth season has finally got Kansas moving deeper into the postseason as they should be. The last 2 years bounced unceremoniously in upsets in the first round. And right now, they'll be taking on Southern Illinois, a team that's already won 2 games to get to the Sweet 16. And could they be a giant killer? That is out in San Jose, California, as part of the West region. We have Dick Enberg and Jay Billis out there for the call. We're going to send you out there for the opening tip-off. Kansas and Southern Illinois.
And the Jayhawks have the first opportunity.
And Southern Illinois, as they always do, going man-to-man. They will put great pressure on the ball, switch some screens at the guard spots. This is an outstanding defensive team. Only one team all year long has scored 70 or more.
And there's the steal for a moment by Tony Young. Back to Rush with 15 on the shot clock. They can't work it inside, and Chalmers will reset the offense. It's a senior-dominated Southern Illinois team, a very young Kansas club. Down to 5 to 4. Robinson inside to score. Russell Robinson, the junior from New York City.
Southern Illinois making Kansas use the entire shot clock on the first possession, but Kansas doing a nice job off the trap, off a ball screen. The rotation's outstanding, but Kansas passing the ball from side to side finds an opening.
Young dribbles the ball off his opponent's foot off right, and it'll be out of bounds to the Salukis from Carbondale, Illinois.
The Southern Illinois team, a motion offensive team. They don't run a lot of set plays. They set a lot of screens. They come off those screens, especially Jamal Tatum, who comes off looking to fire, and he's a player that can get his own shot.
Here's their leading scorer, Tatum, with a 15-point average. Runs into Kahn, the big man, down to 6'5". Mullins with a drive, unable to connect. And it's Rush who has the rebound. And here come the Jayhawks.
Southern Illinois looking to jam those rebounds so that Kansas can't get out quickly in transition. Southern Illinois has to make this a half-court game in order to win.
And that was Lowry's goal tonight. No shots within 10 seconds on either end of the court. Wright unable to hit his first jumper, and here comes Mullins on the run.
Boy, spectacular move by Wright, but he has to finish it up. He's not a great shooter, and if Southern Illinois can get him taking jump shots, that's an advantage.
Falker outside to Mullins. Young will try a 3. Rebound Rush. Kansas averaging almost 80 points a game on the season. Rush can't get the baseline. Kahn up with a soft hook, and it's 4-0 Kansas.
Kansas doing a nice job of attacking off the dribble, but that first drive is usually not going to be open. This is too good of a defensive team. You're going to have to drive, kick it out, and be alert to maybe make that second pass.
Nice reverse move by Mullins, but Falker can't handle it initially. Spins and up with a shot off a foul, and he'll go to the line.
You see Brandon Rush with the nice drive, getting it to Sasha Kahn, and Kahn gathers himself. And Kansas so big inside. That's where Kahn can score, inside the paint on stickbacks, a little bit off transition.
Randall Falker, the junior from St. Louis, averaging 12 a game. He's a 54% free throw shooter, so when that first one goes in, a positive sign for the Saluki fan. Here comes Matt Shaw, a regular starter, number 3 scorer, 11.5 a game. Injured his ankle last week in the Holy Cross game, the opening round, and did not play in the win against Virginia Tech.
Matt Shaw is a face-up 4-man, so he can pull the bigger Kansas defenders away from the basket and make them guard him out on the perimeter.
Little backcourt pressure from Mullins on a 4-2 start.
Anything Southern Illinois can do to slow the advance of this Kansas team is going to benefit them.
Whistle away from the ball. A legal pick set by Rush of Kansas, his first. So Chalmers and Rush were the first 2 Jayhawk fouls. Those of you expecting to see the A&M Memphis game, we'll get you out to San Antonio. Time for the tip. That game scheduled for 7:27 Eastern, 4:27 Pacific time. Beautiful day here in the Bay Area. San Jose, the third largest city in the state of California, behind LA and San Diego. These fans eagerly awaiting this semifinal as Tatum way off the mark, and Kahn will get Kansas going the other way. A long pass for Rush. He beats the defense and scores. That's what Southern Illinois can ill afford to allow.
Yeah, they've got to be able to jam and get up and really put some pressure on the outlet passer, because if Kansas gets those kind of easy baskets, it's going to be Jayhawks all night long. This has to be a half-court game for Southern Illinois. And what a job Russell Robinson is doing thus far on Jamal Tatum. He is a really, really good defender.
Inside to Shaw, draws the crowd. Young has a clear three-pointer. He's missed twice from outside, and it's Falker who saves it for Southern Illinois. New clock.
Southern Illinois, a very patient team. That's a tough pass, but a good catch by Falker. He's got to be strong with the ball, though, when he gets it inside.
Right with a steal. Rush with a rush. And Coach Chris Lowry on the Southern Illinois bench doesn't like to see that. Back-to-back transition easy baskets for Kansas, and the Jayhawks lead it 8-2.
ESPN brings you complete coverage of EuroLeague basketball, the finest basketball this side of the NBA. Feel the passion, the drama, and the devotion as 16 of the legendary clubs of Europe thrill packed houses with their distinct style of hoops. From now until the championship game, EuroLeague basketball on ESPN. Start your engines as ESPN presents a brand new show dedicated to everything on wheels. Each week, you'll get in-depth racing coverage from all corners of the globe, including the world's major car and motorcycle series. So strap yourself in for Planet Speed, Saturday on ESPN. Copa America is around the corner as teams seek to polish the last details to arrive in perfect shape for the most important event in American football. Don't miss the United States against Ecuador this Sunday live on ESPN.
Kansas with the early lead, and Southern Illinois has to do a good job on the change of possession to jam the outlet pass. Here's Sasha Khan with the rebound. Nobody jams that outlet pass. He gets an easy pass to Russell Robinson, who looks straight down floor with no pressure and gets it to Brandon Rush for the early layup. They cannot afford, Southern Illinois, to give Kansas those easy opportunities.
Kansas off to a 4 for 5 shooting start. Southern Illinois 0 for 4. 8-2 lead for the Jayhawks. It's apparent also with a shorter team, the Southern Illinois team needs to hit some threes. Inside, and Falker can't jam it down. Robinson the other way.
Falker went much stronger that time. He didn't go strong before, got the ball stripped away from him, and Chris Lowry, his coach, was all over him at that last time out.
Mullins from behind trying to strip the ball, picks up the foul. We have a timeout. 4 minutes, 8 seconds in.
We're
We're still a few moments away from the start of our featured game, the Memphis Tigers and the Texas A&M Aggies. Just as soon as that one is ready to go, we will bring you back for the opening tip of that, taking place down in San Antonio, Texas, at the Alamo Dome. For now, we're going to resume our bonus coverage, which we've been able to give you, which features part of the West region in San Jose, as Kansas and Southern Illinois are doing battle. We'll send you back to Dick Enberg and Jay Billis.
How difficult Southern Illinois makes it, not only to inbound the ball, but to get any kind of pass. They are right up on you. Every catch a step or two further out, every pass a bit longer.
Seth Greenberg, Virginia Tech coach, talking about this defense, but they save it to Kansas. With 10 seconds right has been blocked as Falker denies. Seth Greenberg said they invade your personal space. A high compliment after the victory by the Salukis over Virginia Tech last weekend.
Well, this is a tough and mean defensive team. They take nothing for granted. Everything is challenged, and Kansas is finding that out because every pass has been difficult thus far from the Jayhawks.
Down to 4 on the shot clock. Chalmers inside to Kahn and to Wright. Did he beat the buzzer? No, they're going to allow it, and the bench for Southern Illinois can't believe it.
Well, the buzzer definitely went off while it was in the hand of Julian Wright.
And the fans, other than those wearing the blue and red of Kansas, letting their disapproval be heard.
The problem is that's not a reviewable play.
With a 10-2 score, Young from the corner hits the 3. That's his third open chance at a tray. He connects, and that being the first basket after 5 minutes of play for Southern Illinois.
And you know, Dick, really the only difference in this game are the couple of runouts that Kansas got. Everything else has been contested, and in fact, Southern Illinois has had a couple of steals that they weren't able to corral.
No hurry for the Salukis. They'd like to use as much of that 35-second clock as they can on each possession.
And they're used to operating at the end of a shot clock.
Well, Young was in a hurry as he feels it. Here's Tatum from the side. And it just is not dropping for the Salukis on those three-point attempts.
Well, they're not necessarily going to hold the ball. They want to use the clock if they can, but if they've got an open look, they're going to pull the trigger.
Rush handles a tough pass. Mullins on him. Robinson draws Tatum. Chalmers and Young. Chalmers blocked by Young.
Dick, you can see as the clock is winding down, Julian Wright goes up for this dunk after going to the other side. That is at 0. It is still in his hand. That shot should not have counted.
There's 2 on the board, however, 10-5, and the turnover as the pass gets through. Wright out of bounds to Southern Illinois. You can hear the horn before the ball was released by Julian Wright, but a 2-point gift goes to the Jayhawks. Sharon Collins enters the game for the first time for the Jayhawks, the stocky, muscular number 4 from Chicago, and Tony Boyle, the starter, has replaced Matt Shaw. Shaw with a few minutes of play on that bad ankle.
We'll keep you in touch with that game out in San Jose, Kansas, and Southern Illinois. However, we're ready for the start of our featured game. Ready to tip off down in San Antonio, Texas at Alamo Dome, where the Texas A&M Aggies will battle the Memphis Tigers. Memphis coming in on a 24-game winning streak through 2 rounds of this NCAA tournament. They were a perfect 16-0 in Conference USA. A lot of naysayers out there aren't too impressed with that. Well, we'll see if Memphis can keep blowing through this tournament. Well, they're going to start having to have some respect for it. Right now, that 24-game winning streak, they'll take that against Texas A&M. And at large bid out of the Big 12 with their 13-3 record in conference and now 27-6 overall. They are ranked number 9 overall in the country and have a number 3 seed in their region. That's the first time Texas A&M has ever had a seed that high. In the South region, A&M and Memphis will be battling opposite Ohio State and Tennessee. Both those games happening tonight. And in this building, Billy Gillespie in his 3rd season as Texas A&M head coach. Well, 3-2 record in the NCAA tournament, and that's doing something. Remember, he took over and had a team that just a few years ago went without a victory in Big 12 play. Incredible. Look at him now. His starting lineup, very good guard play led by A.C. Law, but Dominique Kirk has had 2 outstanding ball games so far. 16 points in the first round, 21 in the second. So that starting backcourt is accounting for about 40 points per game. John Calipari knows that, and he'll be hoping to put some pressure on those 2 guards and force some turnovers. Now in his 7th season as Memphis head coach, an outstanding career record in NCAA tournament play at 17-8. We've got Vern Lundquist and Bill Raftery ready for the call. The opening tip, Texas A&M in Memphis. Let's head out there.
Officiating crew, Carl Hess, John Hughes, and Joe Lindsay. Memphis has won 24 in a row. Last loss in December. Aggies playing what amounts to a home game here. We are 200 miles away from College Station. Willie Kemp from Memphis.
And Vern Lundquist, Texas A&M, the Aggies go.
There's the ball to Dozier, or Dorsey rather, backs in. Double team. Kick it back outside. Chris Douglas Roberts, easy penetration. Right down the lane.
Boy, that doesn't happen too often against A&M. They're very good off the dribble. They contain the bounce, and this guy can get to the rim with the best of them. Oh, the log to land down here.
AC Law equals the score. These 2 teams meeting for the 9th time, but it's the first time in 40 years. They have never met each other in NCAA play. Turnover.
Well, they're going to try and keep Memphis on the perimeter. They love to dribble, drive, and kick. They get good shots around the rim, but the 3-point is a valued weapon.
Texas A&M will inbound. Douglas Roberts guarding the inbound play.
Kirk has really been terrific in the tournament. Very sound performer. Can run the point, play off the ball. There's a lot of ball screens on both teams.
This is Carter, Josh Carter, out of Dallas Lake Highlands. Back outside, shot clock at 15.
Gavalauskas is going to have a big game down on that box, I think.
There's the quick hands of Willie Kemp. Kirk saved it. Jump shot, no good. Well, we had a little jersey pull. Whew. Looked like a wrestling match. Oh, my.
Well, if they permit a very tough game, I think it favors Texas A&M. They do a lot of things where they stand you up on cuts, very sound. Billy Gillespie, tough-minded club on that end of the floor.
And so the Aggies will inbound. Here's Law.
And Vern, if you haven't seen him, people will not know which hand is his dominant hand. He's terrific with either. Deep with the left, and nice post entry here.
Joseph Jones, turnaround, gets the roll.
Inside points, and I think you've got to attack Dorsey. He's so valuable for this Memphis team.
Here's Willie Kemp. Kemp will open play about 8 minutes. Andre Allen will take his place. Allen plays about 20 throughout the game. Little weave, they kick it out the baseline. Dozier.
I think Kavalauskas with the little nickel dimer burn early.
Righty.
Well, what a job Gillespie has done down here. I mean, he has awakened the world of basketball on the campus and in the state.
Well, Billy Clyde Gillespie in his 3rd year. He's a native Texan out of Grayford, Texas. Taught history and coached high school ball. 3 different schools in 8 years here. And he's still a member of the Texas High School Basketball Coaches Association. In the corner. Yep, Kemp. Blocking foul.
Boy, look how tough they are. They close the gap. They give it on Kirk on the penetration, but you're going to have a hard time turning the corner. Right here, it's a lot of individual play that Memphis emphasizes, and if that's taken away, they certainly got to get some points up front from Dorsey and Dozier. Big thing is Dorsey on the glass. You got to keep him off.
Roberts. How about that?
Well, he's going to probably rely on more jump shots. I don't think he'll be as electrifying getting to the rim with the ankle problem.
They're tied at 4, 17:30 to go.
Little post bump by, if they're going to call that, the advantage is going to be on Dozier. Non-shooting.
That's Billy Clyde Gillespie, 47 years of age. mentioned graduate of Grayford High School. There was such a small student enrollment from kindergarten through the 12th grade, they didn't have even a 6-man football team.
Well, he said there were 20 kids in his graduating class. Another one on Dozier quickly, and they are limited up front.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Memphis not as deep.
Second personal foul. Second team foul on Memphis.
How about this? Consecutive seasons at UTEP and A&M, Vern. It's just incredible what he's been able to do. You've known him a while. I got to know him at Illinois. Those 2 fouls are a real dilemma. But at Illinois, I didn't think he'd be as tough defensively. I mean, the way they played at Illinois was good, sound defense, but, down here, he's just learned to lock people up. Very demanding.
That was the second foul called on Robert Dozier. Joseph Jones. Baseline jumper, not there. And here comes Jeremy Hunt off the bench, number 5. Anderson with the drive, knocked out of bounds.
It's interesting, this attack philosophy of John Calipari's. They skip past and look for the threes. This team contains the dribble. They're going to have a dilemma getting to the rim.
Willie Kemp. Hunt has replaced Dozier, who sits with those 2 fouls. This is Hunt, who averages 16 points per game off the bench.
Nice entry here, and a foul given away by Jones. Dorsey loading up. Ooh. His shoulders go one side of the lane to the other. Fortunately, he's gentle. Pretty good reaction to that slapback.
Jumper by Kemp. Long rebound. Oh, nice save by Dorsey, but it goes right to Kirk.
Heads up play by Kirk. Kavalauskas right to the rim. This is where he runs the floor beautifully. I mean, we have mentioned the first couple of games that he hasn't scored or done a lot of things. If he steps it up, what a tough threat down under the box with his step moves, good range, and runs the floor beautifully.
Well, he's had a terrific year. Second team all Big 12, but he's really slumped in the tournament. 5 of 19 from the field for his last 3 games. Watch exclusive live video from Amen Corner at the Masters with Amen Corner Live. And bonus play-by-play coverage of the entire field with Masters Extra throughout the tournament at cbssportsline.com/masterslive and masters.org.
His mom, Barute, came to see him on that NCAA student grant where they can bring their parents once. I mean, that's just great. And last night at home, and he had a sensational performance. Nice back cut. How's the ankle now, Vern?
I think it's, he's tested it.
Wow. CDR. Consider it.
We're tied at 6. Alley-oop, Kavalauskas.
Look at the help. Is that gorgeous? Staying awake in the back, Allen. The old step and go. That's one thing you can do. I think you're going to have to do more of that and not use the bounce as step and go. You open up, don't get good vision on the basketball, and you pay for it that time. Pompey at a distance.
Josh Carter inbounds, ace and ball.
They got the post up. I believe Pompey trying to nail the smaller Hunt on the box.
That is the 4th team foul.
And Billy letting the officials know he can count. Look at how they close.
From the corner, that's for 3. Kavalauskas with the rebound.
And they got a tee, an early one.
Yes, we do.
A little verbalizing. Well, that Texas twang didn't work with Carl Hess.
Carl Hess teed up Billy Gillespie. We're tied at 6.
Well, keeping you in touch with that Kansas-Southern Illinois game right now, the Jayhawks with a 4-point advantage over the Salukis. Where else can you get a matchup of Salukis and Jayhawks? Must be NCAA basketball. March Madness edition, Sweet 16 in the West region. We'll keep you in touch with that one just as much as we can. Our feature game is Memphis and Texas A&M. Let's go back out to the Alamo Dome.
And Chris Douglas Roberts misses the first. This is a Memphis team that averages for the year 62% from the free throw line. They have been superb in the NCAA tournament, however.
Well, they sure have stepped it up. I don't think that was a message tee by Billy.
No.
I think he innocently got it. I think he was shocked. Sometimes the officials hear many things, Vern. Some you don't want them to hear.
Here's AC Law. Picked up by Antonio Anderson.
He likes the bright lights late in the game, and he just feels the game out. Very mature attitude on the floor, Law.
Here's Kirk. Andre Allen defends.
Ooh, a little kiss.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, I thought he was a little too deep for that. A little smooch down by the elbow.
Almost an air kiss. Something you'd see in royalty. And it's an 8-7 A&M lead. Andre Allen, whoa, what a pass.
Nice slip by Dorsey. The pass was beautiful. The big fella dive into the rim.
Memphis back up by 1. Kavalauskas spots up, top of the key. Into the corner. Josh Carter. Jones goes baseline on Dorsey.
Wow, away from the traffic. Boy, a terrific entry pass. Memphis is doing more ball screening because they realize they can't crack the perimeter D. Here's one again.
Nice cut. And Jeremy Hunt will go to the free throw line.
So many of their guys can beat you with the dribble. And you just can't relax. You take one entry, you beat it, they come right back here with another guy.
Now Hunt is one of those who has excelled at the line, Bill. 8 of 9 in the 2 games they've won thus far. And this was certainly an early sign in their game against Nevada when this Memphis team hit 21 in the first 25 on the line. Here's Donnell Kent comes in. He's been to the barber this week. Donnell Mack.
He sure has. It's a little different from last week.
Flames.
Well, he can shoot the ball, so I guess he can do anything he wants. And full court pressure. Trying to wear out the backcourt.
Andre Allen picks up AC Law.
Look at that speed.
Oh, he does have it, doesn't he? Turn it up with the rebound. 3-on-2, alley-oop.
Wow!
Thank you.
And Mack kept running and actually took the defense away. What a great look.
3-point Memphis lead on the slam by Christopher Douglas Roberts. Kavalauskas goes left hand, goaltender.
He's got both arms. He's got great footsteps. Boy, he can turn it up a notch, gives them some great impact inside, really sets up their dribble game as well.
Kareem Cooper is on the floor now, number 42, listed at 6'11", 290.
He couldn't afford the dinner. He's a big, wide body, carves up some area, does some screening. Not bad on the offensive glass.
Hunt, he can hit the 3. Not this time. Kirk at the other end. Kavalauskas, 13-12. Chance for the Aggies to reclaim the lead.
Nice slip by Kavalauskas, and that was all a double screen out high for Carter. And the big fella with a terrific read.
Nice use of the bounce pass inside. Aggies by 1. Allen, look at the defense. Jumper over Kavalauskas.
Well, he looks fresh, doesn't he?
Douglas Roberts went out with 8:11 to go in that game last week in New Orleans. And it was described as a moderate ankle sprain. Billy?
The open floor, the ability to use the bounce. We said his legs aren't really spry, but able to run, jump, elevate on the jump shot. And when he can put it on the floor, it sets this up.
Good rebounding position. Carter got that one. Right side, Dominic Kirk.
Now high-low and a tough entry, but they run that beautifully. Pass to one another well.
Nice catch by Jones.
Got a 5.
Off Douglas Roberts and out of bounds. Calipari a little angry on the bench.
Well, he can count, judging by his salary. I know he counts very well. But he was up to 7 on that.
Shot clock at 16. Substitution now Marlon Pompey is back on for Antanas Kavalauskas. What a good start for him.
Real sound. I mean, they give you that punch up front. Their perimeter people are so dynamic.
It's Kurt for the nice entry pass. In the corner, that leaves Law open. Puts it on the floor, takes the jump.
The Hoyt Wilhelm release. Everybody in the Big 12 knows about it. It's an odd-looking thrust. Keeps both hands on the ball a little longer, and therefore that little stillness in the shot.
Yeah, it's almost like a palm ball.
Right. And of course, he had broken those arms and wrists. Look at that. They got to walk.
Near the end of today's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. To honor their determination and outstanding play, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's General Scholarship Fund. America's brand supports America's best, Chevy, and American Revolution.
You know, Memphis has to stay alert because they run some real subtle inside screens. You saw Jones get the ball in the lane. You have to be extremely alert.
Off the dribble. Donald Sloan, the freshman out of Seagoville, who is the heir apparent to AC Law. And they split time now.
Very talented kid. Very good in traffic. He's quick to the 10. And not afraid in the early to put it on the deck as well.
Sloan will inbound.
Well, you can see the preparation. They know everything the other team's going to do at this stage.
There's the double team on the floater.
How pretty is that?
AC Law.
Oh, the fade away. A little like, oh, look at this cross. Not a good shot, though.
Back outside to Mack. Little jump stop in the lane. Beauty. And a foul.
The forceful nature of the drive. But AC Law, Billy Packer said he reminded him a little bit of Guy Rogers, maybe Gail Goodrich. How about a fade away? Dick Barnett with the leg kick.
Back in San Antonio, the South Regional semifinal. Neither team has scored consecutive baskets in this game. And as a result, we've been on the teeter-totter. More than two consecutive, I beg your pardon.
Well, we've been known to be on the teeter-totter.
True.
Not this early in the evening.
No.
But right now, I just think the high level of defensive pressure, you better execute and take, and particularly at halftime, some wrinkles that you can run against the other team. And they just do a sound job containing the bounce.
Jeremy Hunt. And we're tied at 18. 11:40 to go. Winner of this one will face either Ohio State or Tennessee. There's Andre Allen going for the steal. 11:35 to go, first half. Texas A&M, Memphis, the 2 and 3 seeds meeting for the first time ever in NCAA tournament play. By the way, Memphis has played 11 games in Texas, Bill, in NCAA play, on 6 different occasions. They've won 10 in a row. They've only lost 1 game in this state. That was in Houston against Creighton when you and I were young fellas.
Well, a couple of years ago, I'm sure. Not too many. Where they do handle the pressure, too. Nice slip to the goal here.
Seeds 1 through 4, a 27-5 record so far. And you have to go back to 1995, the last time a double-digit seed didn't make it to this round.
And the committee's got to feel good about everything, and rightfully so.
Sloan gets 1 of 2.
Nice looking prospect. And a nice little touch in the lane.
You know, folks in this part of the country remember LaMarcus Aldridge at University of Texas a couple of years ago. That's a 3 by Donnell Mack.
He's got a great stroke. You cannot leave him alone. Tag him.
Law, into the corner. Joseph Jones for 3.
And he can make that. He'll bring the big guy away from the rim and help others low. Nice hands defensively on the slip by Dorsey.
And now Law. 21-19 Memphis. Pompey, number 42.
Oh, goodness. Once you turn your back, you're susceptible. And he had Jones loading up. If he had passed it, it wouldn't have happened.
I'm going to give Jeremy Hunt about a 9.4 on that triple pike somersault.
Well, you may be right, but I just thought, why not throw it to Jones down on the box? You don't even have to worry about that at the end.
Good point by you.
For a change, huh? Now, they do rotate their perimeter people beautifully.
Hunt is out. Willie Kemp back in.
And the floor is tilting.
Oh, yeah, Cooper's there.
Cooper and Dorsey. Load them up.
Antonio Anderson had a terrific game against Nevada. His first career double-double in that one, number 12.
And Werner running more sets than you've seen all year. That was a little double to get a look for Chris Douglas-Roberts. Look at the pressure causing the timeout. That's where they are tenacious. They get up in you, force you to make mistakes, or in this case, get the timeout.
Josh Carter doing the defensive work. Time call.
Well, they're now inside 2 minutes to play in the first half in the San Jose West region as Kansas and Southern Illinois battling it out. A 3-point advantage right now for the Jayhawks. Jayhawks led it early, then gave up the lead in the middle of the half, and now trying to take a lead into halftime. Salukis wearing their maroon uniforms and the white of the Jayhawks. And a near turnover there. And then missing on the three, Jamal Tatum. Salukis have controlled the basketball a lot. They're taking a lot of time off the clock in this ball game. As Brian Mullins picks up the foul on the block or the reach in, however you want to do it. We'll keep you updating on what's going on there. For now, we'll go back to A&M and Memphis.
Absolutely. Both of these teams do a great job becoming taller.
Roberts in the lane.
They got a trip.
Yeah.
And a right call. You know, if he had to plant that foot, that could have been a problem, don't you think? His left foot, he would have had to put a lot of force on it. As he got in here, that next plant, he is very fortunate to get the free throws, obviously, but also not to hurt himself.
Ninth team foul, so Douglas Roberts at the line. Kavalauskas getting ready to come back on the floor. One more.
Were you curious at the shoot-around when he didn't shoot and come out? John said, though, that they had a workout in the morning yesterday at another facility, and then they have a shoot-around where spectators can come, media can come. And him not being here, although he was in the back getting treatment,
right.
John's very upfront about it. They both said, look, if he's ready to play, he's going to tell me, and we'll start him. And he certainly has come out of the gate on fire.
Gets two at the line. Interesting, you and I watched him in the pregame warm-ups here an hour before they tipped. Didn't look all that solid, did he?
And look at the hustle here by Anderson, too. You can't give up.
Sloan, no call. Yes, there's a call.
I think that's one you could have let go. You know, just one of those where the drop step's going to come slow. Kept never in position either. You know, but well, they got the right one if they did it that way. They would have let it go.
So Willie Kemp gives way to Andre Allen. 23-19, 4-point lead. 9:44 to go first half.
They got a hold here on Anderson. Wow. Picky. Next, the table manners.
Billy Gillespie with a wry look. He has received a technical already.
He'll be careful.
Yeah. And on the inbound play, Joseph Jones, bounce pass.
He uses that offhand beautifully, but great defensive pressure.
Memphis will run. Antonio Anderson flies to the basket.
The big
guy. The large man.
The body rub goes against him. Rub-a-dub-dub, the big fella. Oh, he just couldn't go sideways. Sideways to him is a normal man as he comes in over the top and punishing. Great effort, though.
That's at John.
That's at his player.
Yeah.
He's mad. Either, he was saying the other day, he was mad at his guys for not finishing. Make the shot. Maybe that's what I should have done when I coached. Just told him to make it.
Well, the object of his ire then was Antonio Anderson, who now occupies, he's going to listen to John Calipari now. Missed free throw. Offensive board, here's Sloan.
Nice job by Carter on the outside. They go box to box. Kavalauskas, either hand.
Nice.
I tell you, he's a big role in this offense. And he contributes. It sets a lot of people up.
Traveling.
They pulled the string. They had not trapped yet. They had not blitzed the ball screen. You've got to be alert against this outstanding defensive-minded team.
Joseph Jones will take a seat on the bench now. So we've got Carter, Kavalauskas, Sloan. Brian Davis is on the floor for the first time. His uncle Barry over on the bench, one of the members of the Hall of Fame of Texas A&M University.
AC Law plays 34 minutes. He seldom comes out. That's a tough delivery there.
23-21. Memphis running. And a shoulder. Andre Allen will go to the line. Coming up on AT at the half, Greg Gumbel, Seth Davis will take you out for a live look at Southern Illinois and Kansas, and they'll get you caught up on all of the latest tournament news, plus an AT&T Naismith Watch update. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half.
And Vern, that corner jumper leads to a fast break if you do not convert it. And Allen showing you his foot speed and toughness around the rim.
One-time walk-on, Andre Allen.
Substitution for Memphis, number 42,
Kareem Cooper's back on the floor now, and Joey Dorsey will sit down. That's 10 team fouls. So from this point on, double bonus. Andre Allen at the free throw line. He gets 1 of 2. That's his average for the year, just under 50%. And it's a 8:41 time clock, 24-21. Memphis leading by 3.
Kavalauskas has Hunt on them. He can do some damage if they so choose. Here he is.
Wide open in the low post.
He can elevate over him.
Kick it back outside to Law. Back inside. And one.
So much for the belly bump. Cooper gets there late. And the little sweet kiss in San Antonio. Kavalauskas here. How about that? The concentration and also the bump to buoy you, to keep you erect. Vilnius, Lithuania. Arvydas Sabonis was his idol growing up. And we all know the great international play that's gone on in recent years. He is solid. Barton County couldn't speak English when he got there, Vern.
24 all. Mack, no place to go. Finds a man in the corner. Off the rim, Kavalauskas. He finds Sloan. One-on-one. Shot easily.
Under control, you don't want to charge.
Mack. Rebound, Kavalauskas. Aggies will run. AC Law. Back outside of the half-court set.
That's the feel he has. Great control of the pace of the game.
Kavalauskas, 11 points in the early going. He's got the ball again. Donald Sloan. Right corner. Carter. Memphis calls timeout.
Well, when the South Regional semifinal is just a few hours away from your campus, you're going to get a big crowd. That's what's happening right now. A&M on a run, and the crowd into it. Calipari wants a timeout. They've reached the half over in San Jose, California. Kansas, the #1 seed in the West region, with a 3-point advantage over Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois out of the Missouri Valley Conference, a 4 seed. A lot of respect shown for that mid-major. Of course, they've done some damage in years past in the tournament. Let's send you back out for the final 7.5 minutes of the first half.
Run out of players to get mad at.
Wow, he ran away from them in that timeout before. He was furious how they backed off defensively. And he emotes, stokes the fire. Now let's see the response.
A few moments ago, he pulled Antonio Anderson and gave him a spot on the bench. This time it was Andre Allen who left Carter alone for the 3.
And Joey Dorsey saying, good, it's not me. He's hollering at
8 unanswered for A&M. Douglas Roberts tries the backdoor cut. There was Sloan defensively. Hunt in the lane. Beauty.
Yeah, sure was. And Kavalauskas did a great job on this Douglas Roberts.
This is Josh Carter, brother Warren, a starter at Illinois. They're from Lake Highlands High School in Dallas.
Of course, that's how Billy Gillespie got. He had recruited his brother for Illinois. Nice entry pass and a great reaction by Dorsey, and that was close, but I think it was the right call.
Well, we mentioned it was almost a home game for Texas A&M. They actually have played one game in this facility. They played UT San Antonio here a couple of years ago, and there were 3,400 people in the stands. Those guys were not among them.
Well, it's the kind of weather you go out like that. I don't think we'd look too good. I would look good as the A. You would never make it as the C.
No, I would make it as the 4. I would be the guy in the end. A.C. Earl. And, of course, Bruce Pearl is familiar with body painting. We'll see him in our second game.
And, of course, AC and his dad, such a big influence in a way. Billy Gillespie came in, made him work so hard, and he got the parents on board. He was going to pack it in. It was so demanding in the conditioning program. And Billy said to the parents, I think your kid's got something special. He could be a superstar. And when he called home, even the notion of, well, maybe I'll move on, they said, forget about it. You stay in there. And, of course, he's done so beautifully with this team and program.
Anderson gets 1 of 2. A.C. Earl was a member of that A&M team that went 0-16 in Big 12 play. That was his freshman season. Look at that in the lane. How about that?
That's what's great about him. We mentioned his ability with either hand. You can take one way, he reads it, and then adjust beautifully.
Anderson for 3.
Those are the ones you got to come up. The long 3 rebounds you must get against Memphis.
AC Law. That team went 7-21. AC Law freshman year, back outside. Sloan for 3. Off the mark. Good hustle. Carter chases it down, and then the quick hands of Hunt for Memphis. Oh dear.
And you don't have to foul, you had help behind. However, we mentioned the hands and wrists as a youth were broken, and therefore he learned how to shoot left. He's got a great control. There's a nice adjustment to the right. He's so solid in that lane.
Of course, it reminds all of us who follow basketball of an old joke. He is amphibious, after all.
He can go either way.
Hunt. 31-28. Memphis 9 for 12 tonight, so hasn't been a factor.
Well, the tournament tough on the free throw line, and there you go again.
I did it.
You're killing them.
Under 6, first half, 31-28.
Kavalauskas can really have his way either finishing or making decisions because of the size disparity.
Law on the floor. There's the switch.
How about that? That's unbelievable. Look at the big guy because it's Hunt under there.
Kavalauskas had the tip and couldn't get it to go down. Anderson. The help from Joe Jones in the corner. 3.
Well, they used the floor magnificently. The spread by Hunt just had to make sure he was in bounds. Tough to cover at the rim, and the kick to the wing.
Billy Gillespie wants to call timeout.
His dad's a lefty. What is this guy? The law of the land can beat you in so many ways. The step back jack jumper doesn't have the leg kick of Dick Barnett, but in the lane his choice is generally that right hand on the floater, and those two have a lot in common: how to win and how to keep it going.
AC Law is in the process of becoming the first consensus All-American in the history of A&M basketball.
Wow.
How about that?
Now, you remember Beasley, right?
John Beasley, yes.
He was one of their great players.
Yes. Sonny Parker was one.
Right, and of course the great coach Shelby Metcalf, who actually did games for Shelby, just passed away this year.
Shelby Metcalf died a couple of weeks ago, 76. He was the coach at A&M for 26 and a half years.
And look at this anticipation by Law. You don't need it now.
Jones, off Allen.
Well, that's why you don't like big guys to make decisions. Betty, his mom, would be after him on that delivery. She gets after him generally on the free throws.
So AC Law will inbound under 5 to go.
And they like to hand off and give it to him, but a great adjustment there by the big fella, huh? He had Cooper, who never gave an inch, and Jay, to the rim.
33-31. Andre Allen.
I'm impressed how Memphis has changed their philosophy. It generally might end with a dribble drive, but they've tried to run bumps and ball screens. And look at this denial by A&M.
Anderson with the entry pass. Dorsey, the double team from Sloan. And there's Kavalauskas straight up. The putback is good.
One of the great offensive rebounds, gets over 4 a game. That was Moses Malone-like. Miss it and go get it. Nice adjustment, huh? The shoulder fake baseline, the little baby hook.
Joseph Jones gets 2. He's got 8. Allen at the point. There's the switch.
And they blitz it and then recover.
Kavalauskas gets back.
A nice job by Jones in the back to cover 2.
Here's Allen. AC Law defending. Boy, it's tough in that lane.
Boy, they don't get much. Nice run out here.
Sloan. Woo! How about the block?
Anderson.
Antonio Anderson.
Great coverage. If you don't have speed, get off the floor, huh, Vern?
Anderson offensively. Cooper. Looked like he thought he was going to make it.
Yeah, I think so. John Calipari's hollering on him. Get back. And he does. The big fella looming. A large edifice.
Alley-oop.
Over Kavalauskas. This is incredible. The level of athleticism is beyond description.
.240 to go first half. Jones. He traveled.
Well, there's no traveling on this one, Vern. Take everybody underneath. Protect the women and children. Send it in, Uncle Joe.
Now let's take a look at the Powerade option, Bill Referee.
Vern, the pass is just terrific. And we've talked about his ability. Roberts away from the rim, and Dorsey just incredible strength and presence to finish it off. But this is an unselfish team, and they do give it to one another. And the things they've done offensively to get back in it, drive, the three-pointer in the corner, they've mixed their attack up, and Texas A&M forces you to do that. You got to come with different wrinkles.
And on the floor now, Logan Lee, number 20.
Transfer from Hawaii, a left-hander, another one of those lefties.
Matter of fact, he started his career at South Plains Junior College in Levelland, Texas, and then went out to Hawaii for a couple of years. There's the offensive board from Dorsey again.
Well, Niles, they're going inside, getting some touches and some opportunities, and Dorsey just cleans it up. You got to get a body on him, and that doesn't deter him frequently.
Under 2 to go, 2-point Memphis lead. In the South region, regional semifinals, Tennessee and Ohio State next here. Sloan.
And look at Jones trying to establish posts, and Niles.
That's Pierre Niles, a freshman. He's listed at 285. Lee for 3.
He's a confident player. He can stick that jumper. He can do the dribble drive and gets about 6 minutes a game and contributes.
Cans a 3 to give the Aggies a 1-point edge. Andre Allen. This is Jeremy Hunt. He's in double figures with 10 points. Back outside, Niles. In and out. You think John Calipari wanted him shooting that 70-footer?
You know, he doesn't have a bad touch. He didn't look that upset. I think he'd prefer one of the perimeter people to shoot it.
Just wondering. Inquiring minds and all that.
Just confirming. Look at the blow by, and that shooter cleans it up because 3 white shirts went to play the dribbler. And Davis just in the right spot.
Brian Davis, number 34. 40 seconds to go in a scintillating first half and a terrific atmosphere. Douglas Roberts.
Got to keep him in front of you.
Andre Allen guarded by Lee. 10 on the shot clock, 20 in the game.
Oh, offensive foul. Dorsey just took the screener and the defender and shoved him.
Offensive foul, Dorsey. Coming up at the half, Greg Gumbel and Seth Davis will take you out to the SIU-Kansas game for a look-in. They'll have tournament news and an AT&T Naismith watch.
Vern, I believe that might be his third. Dorsey. 2. Corrected.
Now here's Sloan.
Nice entry.
Kavalauskas.
Step through is gorgeous. Wonderful post move.
Kavalauskas, 13 points. Aggies lead by 5. We'll send you Greg Gumbel with AT&T at the half. After this message and a word from your local station.
This would be an upset, a 4 seed against a 1. Still plenty of time to play in this one out in San Jose. We'll send you to Dick Enberg and Jay Billis.
But Southern Illinois has turned that around here to open the second half. A 6-0 run for the Salukis to take the 3-point advantage. Texas A&M with the Big 12 leading by 6 at halftime, and their brothers in that conference, the Kansas Jayhawks, have fallen behind Southern Illinois by 3. 2.5 minutes into the second half here in San Jose, the West region.
Kansas has to get stronger with the ball. They've turned the ball over 11 times against this pressure defense by Southern Illinois. Kansas is leaving the floor to pass. They are passing with one hand, and it has put them in a bad spot against Southern Illinois. The Salukis have their tempo. This is a half-court game, and Kansas has to be stronger.
Mullins with a steal, and then it was knocked away by Robinson. Mullins had 47 steals to lead the Salukis on the season.
The Jayhawks leaving their feet to pass, throwing bad passes in transition, again passing with one hand, and that allows Southern Illinois to take it the other way, get some easy baskets. They have scored very efficiently off of the turnovers of Kansas.
Tatum with a pass underneath, and unable to save it on the baseline was Tony Boyle.
In a possession-by-possession game, turnovers become even bigger. And for Kansas to have a dozen cough-ups to this Southern Illinois defense, that is a significant stat.
Meanwhile, Chris Lowry, the young coach of the Salukis, has his starting center, Randall Falker, sitting with him with 3 fouls, picked up the third early here in the second half. Boyle and Shaw trying to make up for that difference, and that's going to be a travel, as slipping down was Mario Chalmers.
But look how far out Mario Chalmers had to go just to catch the ball. Great pressure on the ball by Brian Mullins, and I mean, he might have slipped on that little decal that's on the court, but he definitely slipped and lost his footing. But the key is pushing him that far away from the basket. Even if he catches it, he's no threat to score.
Lee Young on the outside, and Shaw can shoot from outside. The big man joins him, and now Tatum.
And you can feel a little bit of frustration building with Kansas. They come down, if they turn the ball over, don't get a good shot. They're playing 30 seconds of defense.
Tatum on the dribble. Young pinned in the corner over Collins. And the rebound out of bounds to Southern Illinois. Good position by Matt Shaw, the junior from Centralia, Illinois. You see the time of possession. That's a football number. But if you have the pumpkin, you got a better chance to score.
Well, the problem is Kansas can't speed the game on the offensive end by taking quick shots. They have to speed it defensively.
Tony Young, the Secretary of Defense, is very offensive tonight. That's his 4th tray. He has 14 to lead all scorers.
Well, he has just been a man out there. In the second half, this has been all Southern Illinois.
13-2. Inside and score for Darrell Arthur, one of the many talented freshmen on this Kansas ball club.
One of the few times that Kansas has caught Southern Illinois napping. They didn't get down court after the change of possession, and Kansas took advantage of it. Kansas has 6 points, could be 7 if he knocks this down.
Foul was Tony Young retreating on defense, his second.
But those 7 points, if he makes this, have come in transition or as a result of transition. That's a pretty low number for Kansas. You haven't caught this Southern Illinois team napping very often.
Darrell Arthur off the bench to contribute 5 points for Kansas. They pull within 3. And a whistle away from the ball. A hold inside. It appeared to be Darrell Arthur down underneath, his second. Timeout in San Jose. San Jose, the original capital of California before moving to Sacramento, on a beautiful early Thursday evening. An aerial coverage of our games from San Jose brought to you by Goodyear. So far, the top seeds, 1 through 4, have lost only 5 games as form is held. All the ones are still around, and all of the top 4 seeds in the West have advanced to the regional semifinals. We'll see 2 against 3, UCLA and Pittsburgh in the second game.
Well, this one has got an awful lot of work to do, because they are facing a veteran team in Southern Illinois that is playing with a lot of confidence. 4 of 6 for SIU in the second half.
Tony Young outside as they chew up the clock, down to 20 on the shot clock. Tatum, Mullins, and Young outside with Boyle and Shaw inside. Falker, the starting center, still on the bench with 3 fouls. Young, tough jumper, won't come in. And a take off the boards by Wright. Look at the big man handle the ball. Collins in at the game now. And on the side, it's Chalmers off the mark, but all alone to follow it in is Wright. No, check that, Arthur, Darrell Arthur. He has 7 points. A 1-point game.
A little bit quick on the trigger, but Mario Chalmers was open, and solid offensive rebounding position by Arthur, who is so long and athletic.
Mullins with the ball, the playmaker, has shot only 1 time in the game.
Tatum has a matchup he can exploit there.
Can't hit the 2. Here comes Kansas looking for the lead, and a foul reaching in on Tatum. You can still watch NCAA tournament games live online. Get highlights with NCAA March Madness on demand. It's free at ncaasports.com/MMOD. Check that. Boyle from the backside was ticketed with a foul, his third. So the two of the three big men for Southern Illinois, if you can call 6'7", 6'8" big, are strapped down with 3 fouls.
Southern Illinois doing a very good job of rotating after that pick and roll.
Mullins working hard on Collins, and Collins pulling his way. Rush open, nice little floating 10-footer, and Kansas is back in front 34-33.
And you can see there the importance of staying in front to stop dribble penetration. That breaks down the entire Southern Illinois defense and gives up an open shot.
Tony Young on a give and go, and struggling to get inside, and falling down was Boyle. Scramble on the floor, and Mullins saved it. What a play. What hustle.
But how about the hustle by Mullins and the alertness of Shaw to be a receiver?
Well, they call themselves Floor Burn You, and just at the buzzer the shot, and it's a shot violation. Kansas goes the other way. And fans wanted a foul on Collins as he was bumping hard away from the ball.
You see, Mullins just didn't get it out of his hand before the clock went 0-0.
13:38 to go, and Randall Falker returns to the Southern Illinois lineup. Boyle is rested. Kansas in front by 1.
Falker, a junior, that's an awful lot of basketball. He should be able to play hard and well without worrying about picking up another foul.
He made a foolish foul in the first couple of minutes of the second half after missing a close-in shot, went over the back. Chalmers jams his way in, and a reaching foul on Mullins. Wow, they're playing, whistling it tight now here in this second half. That's the third on Mullins. So 3 starters now for Southern Illinois, with a bench that isn't nearly as deep as Kansas. 3 starters with 3, and Mullins goes out, replaced by Tyrone Green, a 6'3" junior from Monticello, Kentucky.
Mullins also one of the best on-ball defenders on this squad. He's physically runs the team. Another turnover by Kansas.
Tatum with a pickpocket. Tatum takes it the other way. That'll be a blocking call against Kansas.
Well, if you show the ball even a little bit to this Southern Illinois team, they are going to take it away from you. And Jamal Tatum, when he first got to Southern Illinois, not known as a great defender, but he has really worked on his defense.
Well, Southern Illinois giving Kansas all it can handle. About 13 minutes to play in that one. We'll keep you in touch with it, but we're going to take a break and come back with our feature game, Texas A&M and Memphis, in a moment. Texas A&M and Memphis at the half. The Aggies with a 5-point advantage in what's been a hard-fought first half of action at Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Well, they start the third quarter in just a few moments, but the second half in just a few moments. Let's go back to the first half. In transition, Memphis on the break. Punt the alley-oop pass to Chris Douglas Roberts. How's that ankle working for you? Pretty good. And AC Law, look at this. Beautiful fadeaway along the baseline. And then the big man, Kavalauskas, wants it inside. He had 7 total points in the first 2 games of the tournament. He had 13 in the first half. That's stepping up. More Memphis on the break. Douglas Roberts on the other end of the alley-oop. Sending it to Joey Dorsey for the throwdown. Closer look at the numbers shows 54% from the field for A&M. So the Tigers are going to need to do a little bit better job defensively if they want to come out with a victory in this game. You probably expect A&M to have the edge of the boards. They do. Assists and turnovers, pretty much an even draw at that point. Scoreboard's what matters. 42-37. The Aggies with the advantage, and just getting an outstanding performance from Antonis Kavalauskas, the Lithuanian. He's done a solid season, averaging about 12 points per game, but during the first 2 rounds, averaging 3.5 points a game, making up for lost time with a 13-point outburst in the first half. Without that, where would A&M be? Well, right now, they are in the driver's seat with a 5-point advantage. South Region Sweet 16 action here on ESPN. Mark Brown with you throughout our coverage. We've got a feature doubleheader for you, but we'll be keeping you in touch with 2 other games as well. One of them in the West region, which has been going on all evening long. They're already into the second half in San Jose, Kansas, taking on Southern Illinois. The number 1 seed in the region, Kansas Jayhawks, having some trouble now in this Sweet 16 matchup with Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois out of the Missouri Valley Conference with an outstanding 29-6 record. They've been controlling the pace of the game. They've been working the shot clock, and they've been keeping it out of the hands of Kansas and their explosive scoring. As a result, this one is tight in the second half. A 1-point Kansas lead. So can the Salukis pull off the upset here in the Sweet 16? That is what March Madness is all about. And in our next featured game, just as soon as A&M and Memphis are done, we'll begin preparing you for Pittsburgh and UCLA. That a great matchup as the Bruins, number 2 seed in the West region, taking on Pittsburgh, the number 3 seed. And there you have it, the Panthers of Pittsburgh, who were built on defense and toughness by Ben Howland. Howland left a few years ago to go to UCLA, had the Bruins in the championship game last year, and now trying to get him right back there. He'll have to go through his old team, Pittsburgh. So that is a matchup loaded with storylines, and we look forward to giving that one to you. But first, they're ready for the start of the second half at Alamo Dome, where Texas A&M takes on Memphis with a 5-point advantage.
The 24-hour college sports channel from CBS Sports. Kavalauskas with a huge first half.
Great start and solid play goes by Roberts on the other end, but the big fella, they ran a double screen up top. He slips to the goal. Just a great read by him. Here, the ability to get to the lane with a bounce. His great understanding here. A little smooch down by the Alamo. But a big fella. He has been solid, Vern.
You suppose they can get March Madness on demand in Vilnius, Lithuania?
I'm sure they can do it.
Then his mom's watching.
She's up there watching, I'm sure.
Baruta. She did make, as Bill said, a trip here for the last game against Missouri, the last game in College Station for Kavalauskas. He hit 11 of 12 in that game. Joseph Jones jumper off the rim. Douglas Roberts to the rebound.
And I like the call. Go to Dorsey, maybe get number 3 on him with Jones on the offensive end.
Anderson. Out it comes in the hands of Willie Kemp, number 1. Dozier.
Nice screen by Roberts.
Dorsey underneath. Kavalauskas comes down with the double, then gets back. Here's the double again. He fights through that. Kemp, 5 on the shot clock.
And, you know, that's the first time they didn't challenge that shot. That was a flawless defensive set. AC Low with a few mistakes he does make. Didn't get up on him.
3-point game, 42-39.
He does a nice job trying with the drill. Nice high-low.
And it's blocked. Dozier with the block of Kavalauskas.
Oh, not misuse of the bounce here.
No hell ball. Kemp. Law slow getting up. Dozier. Tips back. Douglas Roberts.
Nice play by Dorsey again. Kavalauskas got to finish quicker at that other end.
Douglas Roberts.
Kavalauskas thinks he's got an easy one. He walks his guy up, but there's no dozing by Robert Dozier on that particular play. Good reaction.
5 blocks by the Memphis Tigers. Marlon Pompey is back on the floor. He is playing with 3 fouls picked up in the first half.
Yeah, we didn't get many numbers because of that.
Dorsey.
Good help again.
Sure was.
A late double there by Pompey.
And he altered the shot. Here's Law. End to end off the glass, blocked, tipped, out of bounds, too strong.
Boy, Dozier, just a great reaction. So many big bodies and arms flailing at the rim. You don't get the opportunity to finish.
Did I overhear you at halftime talking with Tennessee coach Bruce Pearl? And did I hear you say you couldn't play this game?
No, our generation could not play with these guys. They're too quick. They just react beautifully. And they don't step back from anybody. And out of bounds.
On the line, Memphis ball.
I wasn't supposed to say that publicly, by the way. That was just for Bruce.
Well, but, you know, inquiring minds and all that sort of thing.
Bruce agreed, though. He said he was impressed that Memphis ran so many sets when they got the dribble drive game taken away from them.
Ball inbound to Dozier.
It was nice to see Bruce with his clothes or his top on.
There's the runner off the lane and good.
Oh, nice help late, but the little cheese delivery. And they are so patient with that floater.
Bill's reference to Bruce Pearl, of course, is the well-publicized fact that he adorned himself in body paint, he and 5 of his players, to support the Tennessee women's program. Bank shot.
Well,
Pompey.
thank you. Thank you, Lord.
Pompey off the glass.
Bruce gives no meaning to doing rehab or working out.
Kemp.
Dorsey with a duck in. Nice play on the high side, doing the work early.
Dozier.
Dorsey's going to get one. He's getting close.
He is.
You know,
right.
he got a bad one at the end of the half to get number 2. Just shoved his guy. I think he gets a little frustrated.
Well, he's had the reputation of being slightly out of control.
Well, on occasion. What's that, 3 foul outs since December? He's played a lot more under control.
Kirk. Underneath, Kavalauskas, beautiful.
Nice screen to set him up, and then you got to use that offhand. Oh. Internationally speaking, that was extraordinary.
15 points for Kavalauskas. Turnover, Kirk, all the way, rejected.
How about the little screen to set him up? That is just terrific inside preparation. And Vern, early in the game we mentioned how they do a nice job of camouflaging and getting across the lane, and they give that to Dorsey, and that is a major issue for this team and John Calipari, number 3.
3 on Dorsey. He's enjoying a conversation with Calipari now.
Enjoying?
That was said with a degree of irony and slight sarcasm.
Well, we had mentioned at the other end, he was shoving, almost discarding, and you don't mind him getting on this, a real hustle play to get back and try and negate.
Dominic Kirk at the line, the junior from Dallas, Brian Adams. Billy Gillespie clanks that one, and Douglas Roberts has it for Memphis. 46-43, 16-10 to go.
Kirk, the guy here, big-time performer on both ends of the floor, trying to contain the dribble. Excellent job.
Probably their best defender, Bill. Right?
And one of the better competitors, too, in the conference and in the country. And they're not getting it to go, that Anderson bounce.
Foul is called on Carter. That's his 3rd. So foul difficulties mounting for both teams. Pompey and Carter with 3 for the Aggies, and Dorsey with 3 for Memphis. Clank. You can still watch NCAA tournament games live online and get highlights or replay any game with NCAA March Madness on demand. It's free at ncaasports.com/MMOD. 9 of 14 at the line for the Memphis Tigers tonight. Not all that terrible.
Nope. 2 in a row, though.
Yep.
Empty trip.
9 of 50. 61% for the season. Dead last among the 65 teams who started tournament play.
Well, Jones was swimming, got himself in position, went box to box, and they passed beautifully to the guide hand.
Jumper, Kirk,
Camp brother. See if they go inside again. A smaller Memphis lineup.
Dozier defending Jones, who's battling for position.
He does a great job with his derriere. Locking low. Look how he bends over. You see he turns.
Nice bounce pass. Pump fake. Carter. Nope. Joseph Jones up. It's going to be Memphis ball.
Well, the big fella going box to box understands how to hold his man off and finish. Solid effort here from Texas A&M.
Tigers have hit their last 3 field goals. They trail by 2, 48-46. Aggies won, of course, in Lexington over Louisville last week. 15:07 to go in the ball game. Memphis hitting its last 3. They trail by 2 at 48-46, and they have the ball.
A&M's been able to run their inside game at the beginning of this half. Joe Dorsey gets those 3. It's the 3rd foul in this game. Makes them play a lot smaller. Those are the only big on the floor.
AC Law, entry pass. Joseph Jones knocked it away. Ouch.
Look at this handle.
Kemp gets it away from Law. Left side, Jeremy Hunt, number 5.
Vern, I think they had been in a zone there that one trip.
I think so too.
Back, and they get the little bang on the baseline. You can't afford it. Joseph Jones, so valuable to this team. 2nd foul.
Foul on number 30, Joseph Jones, has had some foul difficulties.
Yeah, over the course of his career, he's been stymied on occasion.
Offensive board, Dozier off the Anderson miss. Hunt measures that one. Give him that kind of look. Say goodnight.
Boy, he is tough. Well, they all on the perimeter are not afraid. Unabashed. Stroking it from deep.
Memphis reclaims the lead. Hunt has 14. Kirk, backdoor cut, not a good pass.
And a little behind. Law great without the ball. But you had mentioned the ability to get a little nylon from deep. They use all the floor. We've seen him skip to the corner, skip to the loo, to the wing. And a nice looking stroke. Chris Douglas Roberts gets a blow.
Dorsey back on the court with 3 fouls. Pompey and Carter have 3. Carter's on the floor for A&M. Here's Jones fighting through. Guarded by Dorsey.
Well, Dorsey gives you effort, doesn't he? Look at him out there. But be careful.
Kavalauskas.
They do a nice job harassing the passer.
Dozier, good job defensively. 4 on the shot clock.
He plays within himself. There he is with the floater.
Rebound Dozier for Memphis.
Well, right down to the wire now. Kansas and Southern Illinois. The Jayhawks in some trouble here. They've been unable to get any type of reasonable lead over Southern Illinois. And in fact, Kansas has trailed throughout a lot of this ball game. Southern Illinois getting a great game right now from 2 senior guards. Tony Young and Jamal Tatum, both in double digits. Senior leadership, senior guards, tournament tested. Well, it's always a big, important part of winning in March Madness. Southern Illinois, the number 4 seed, having Kansas on the ropes here. The Jayhawks in white with the basketball, that at HP Pavilion out in San Jose, California. And a tough little runner in the lane, and it goes for Russell Robinson. And Kansas has a 2-point advantage. The clock ticking down towards 6 minutes to play in this one. Southern Illinois has been deliberate with the basketball, using most of the shot clock, and as a result has kept the ball out of the hands of the Kansas Stars. And now a foul down low on a strong move by Randall Falker. Falker has had an outstanding game. And here's a look at that one-on-one move by Robinson. Very tough shot, but he's able to get it to go. So a tight one out in San Jose. We will keep you posted on what's going on in that one. For now, we'll go back to our feature game, Texas A&M and Memphis, down in San Antonio.
Law way up in the air for the rebound. Pompey misses from point-blank range, and another Memphis rebound.
And Dorsey didn't even jump. He's so wide, people were 3 feet away from him.
Memphis by 3.
Carry. And nobody argues, so they agree.
And on the turnover, Kavalauskas comes back. That's 8 turnovers in the ballgame.
You know, it's interesting when you watch John Calipari. He seldom gets upset at offensive mistakes. You know, he wants them to keep a high level of confidence. And defensively, he preaches it, though.
Dominic Kirk guarded by Kemp.
Dozier does a nice job just making it tough. Deeper catch.
Double on Kavalauskas. Now they triple team him. And over the back, Dorsey just picked up his 4th.
Right? Jones with a great job getting inside offensive position. Dorsey tries to wrap him up. That's a problem right now for Memphis.
Well, a timeout with Memphis on top. Let's go back to our bonus coverage with 5.5 minutes to play. Kansas a 1-point lead over Southern Illinois.
Remember the outstanding score for Xavier a couple of years ago and had some dramatic baskets in the tournament.
Chalmers, one of the best all-around players in the Big 12, and really the country, was the co-Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. He's long-armed, he gets steals, deflections, and very, very good offensively.
Pride and Joy of Anchorage, Alaska misses the second. So with a 1-point lead, as Kansas says, we're at the 5.5-minute mark. There's Robinson on Tatum again. Tatum pulls up. Oh, what a tough shot. It's not a three. Put on the line.
Kansas is really struggling guarding the pick and roll with Randall Falker setting that screen.
The Salukis lead by 1. Inside is Jackson, as down went his defender, and Falker had to look up and watch Kansas reclaim the lead at 50-49.
The official clearly felt that Randall Falker was flopping on that play. It provided an easy opportunity for Darnell Jackson. Better job by Jackson guarding that ball screen.
Now Tatum, an ill-advised pass, and here comes Wright the other way. 3 Salukis are back, but does anyone stop the dribble? Yeah, enough so. And Wright almost with a steal on the rebound off his miss.
Not a good play by Julian Wright, but a great defensive play by Tyrone Green to put his body on the line and get in front of Wright and force that bad shot.
And another steal. This time it's Darnell Jackson jumping the pass. Look at Wright at 6'8", dribble behind his back. Ticking down toward the 4-minute mark. Kansas with the ball and a 1-point lead. Robinson. Kept alive, and the score. Credit Julian Wright with keeping the ball alive, and Darnell Jackson with the basket.
Under 4 minutes to play. Kansas with a slim lead now over Southern Illinois. We'll keep you very close to that one as it gets near its conclusion. For now, we'll go back to our feature game. A&M and Memphis.
The Alamo Dome, 11:59 to go. 3-point Memphis lead, and Dorsey on the bench, having picked up his 4th foul.
The difficulty when you play Texas A&M, they run so many nice things inside, cross screens, down screens, that high-low set, that it puts a lot of pressure on you defensively. Now factor in, Vern, he plays with a lot of reckless abandon too, and he's a physical performer. And it's just a real dilemma now, the size differential. Then they go with Cooper, which makes sense, and he's chatting away with John.
That's Kareem Cooper, number 42. 9 ties, 14 lead changes. Biggest lead by either team was at halftime. Aggies were up 42-37. Donald Sloan back on the floor. Jones goes baseline. And there is the body being put on Joseph Jones.
And Law gets a little bit of a blow right now, Vern. Nice kick out.
Kirk off the front rim. Kavalauskas, clean block. Aggie basketball.
Well, you can see the maroon shirts getting great offensive positioning now. They're not able to both deny and check at the same trip.
Andre Allen on from Memphis. He'll replace Willie Kemp. And as Bill noted, AC Law getting a little bit of a breather now.
Cross screen now to get a jumper.
Carter.
Clean look. That's what they wanted. You know, it's funny. He's terrific when they go kick it out to him and he steps into the shot. Sometimes you come off that curl, your shooting percentage goes south.
Aggies having difficulty getting open looks. Now Carter had one, but they're hitting 33%.
And for the year, they shoot near 50, 49% for the year.
3 of 13 in this half. Two free throws coming. It takes courage to follow a dream. Just ask the players you're watching. Tomorrow, a gifted woman who beat the odds with a special kind of courage. Assignment America on the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
Chris Douglas Roberts with great ability to break you down. handles, can catch and shoot it. I mean, he's a real dilemma to defend.
Gets the first, shoots one more. 4-point lead. AC Law, there was that brief breather.
Well, Billy Gillespie is known as a very good coach. He's not going to leave him out too long. Just refresh him, revive him a little.
2 for 2 for Douglas Roberts. Largest Memphis lead of the night. It's at 5.
And look who Roberts is playing, too. He's got some length, which takes away the jumper. That should set up the dribble drive for AC Law.
That one's kicked. Hit by Dozier. Aggie ball.
You got to be ready on the inbounds, too, Vern. They run some nice little screens, frequently for the inbound guy.
Dominic Kirk.
Pretty. Oh, a little scoop to the hoop.
Oh.
Great body control. Oh, put it in that box.
Double. High catch by Dozier. Here's Allen. Little slip. Dozier. How about Kavalauskas?
Stayed his ground. They do such a good job. It's going the other way, Vern, of making themselves bigger. Put your hands up. You can't get the entry pass. And the recovery, doubling on the block, sets the tone. And how about this one at the other end? Cup it. Put it on there. They teach you not to fumble at Texas A&M. Hold on tight. Little kiss.
Back outside now. The offensive foul called on Hooper.
Kavalauskas. Great job, and they don't put enough pressure on the pass. Kirk gets a great clean look.
Here's the story now. Under 3 minutes to play out in San Jose in the West region. Kansas holding on to a 1-point advantage over Southern Illinois. And we'll see how this one holds up. We're going to join that coverage down the final 2.5 minutes out to San Jose.
Chalmers, and that'll be a blocking foul on Southern Illinois' Matt Shaw.
Boy, what a great steal by Brian Mullins. Takes it the other way and just tries to lay it up with that left hand, but Chalmers just getting in his way enough to break his concentration. Tatum couldn't follow it up, and Kansas dodges one there.
That would have given Southern Illinois the lead. Instead, it's Mario Chalmers back at the line for KU to build on a 1-point advantage. Ooh, another miss. Kansas, much like a team we're going to see in the second game, UCLA, despite their excellent scoring, not a great free throw shooting team. They're only 66.6%. That's number 247 in the nation. They're 5 for 10 tonight.
If Southern Illinois at this point in the game with 2:20 remaining, if they are able to take a lead, that would put an enormous amount of pressure on this Kansas team. Remember, this Kansas team the last 2 years has been knocked out of the tournament in the first round by mid-majors. 2 years ago by Bucknell, last year by Bradley. Don't think that's not in the back of their minds in this one.
Sharon Collins is on the floor now for Kansas. Tatum, as he saved a big three, his first of the game for these final deciding minutes. Less than 2 to go. Shot clock at 8. Tatum, the leader, the senior. Shaw fires from 3. In and out. And a whistle underneath as they battle for the rebound, and Darnell Jackson had the possession. Foul against Southern Illinois. Tatum will be his third.
I think they got Randolph Falker on that play.
Tatum wanted the foul, but Falker is the one that is pinched with his fourth.
Well, Falker just got to cut his arm in the arm of Darnell Jackson, and Jamal Tatum felt like he had the ball, that he had a jump ball.
Into the double bonus now, the Jayhawks. Darnell Jackson, 66% on the season, exactly the team average from the line. And this one to make it a 2-possession game with 1:44 to go.
How big was that Mullins steal and the inability to convert on the other end?
Right down the bottom of the well for Darnell Jackson, who has 8 points in the game off the bench. A 4-point lead, Kansas.
Southern Illinois has been in a lot of tight spots in the Missouri Valley Conference. They have played a great schedule. They have been in this position before, but not against a team quite as good as Kansas.
Tatum takes it inside, scoops it up there, not good. Rebound and a foul as Julian Wright came away with the ball, and Southern Illinois' Matt Shaw trying to stop him picks up the foul, his second.
And Wright also not a great free throw shooter. He's improved his stroke, but shoots only 64% from the line.
Julian Wright from Chicago Heights went to Homewood Flossmoor. Man that followed his dad and into this game, Paul Vinson, who is the basketball coach at Illinois Tech. Looking for his 7th point.
Actually, Chris Lowry, the head coach at Southern Illinois, when he was an assistant to Bruce Weber at Illinois, tried to recruit Julian Wright.
Wright migrating to Lawrence to join the Jayhawk band of outstanding players. He goes 1 for 2. That's been consistent throughout the night, but it's a 5-point deficit staring at Southern Illinois. Young back into the game. No call. They rule a flop. Tatum looks for a much-needed 3 and hits it. 58-56 with 1:08 to go. Timeout, Salukis. His first tray of the game, Jamal Tatum.
Just 1:08 to play and a tight ball game. 2-point lead for Kansas. Meanwhile, they're down inside 7.5 minutes to play. Texas A&M and Memphis battling it out. Memphis with a 3-point advantage. A huge game from big man for A&M. Anthony Kavalauskas, 17.7 rebounds, but so far it has not been enough for the Aggies. They're still going to need some kind of comeback against number 2 seed Memphis. Now Kansas and Southern Illinois, 1:08 to play. Kansas with a 2-point lead. Dick Enberg and Jay Billis on the call.
17 tonight, 1:08 to go. Timeouts, Kansas. Bill Self has 3 to spend, and the foul situation favors the Jayhawks. They're in the double bonus, although they haven't been able to take advantage, continuing to shoot at about 50% from the charity.
And also that possession arrow. Kansas knows that should they be tied up, they keep possession.
Full court pressure on the inbounds. Chalmers easily beats it, and the foul will be on Green. Tyrone Green picks up the foul to stop the clock at 1:04, his second, and send Mario Chalmers to the line.
Chalmers a very good free throw shooter, 78%.
He's the best on the Jayhawk squad, but 4 for 6 tonight. Oh my. It's still a 1-possession game. Bill Self's wife Cindy agonizing, hiding behind the applause. Boy, she has worked that come over tonight.
And you just know that Kansas and their players are feeling an extra bit of pressure. It's a different game playing against a team like Southern Illinois than if they were playing one of the big shots, because people just don't understand when you get beat by a team like Southern Illinois. As good as they are, this is an outstanding team.
Final minute of play. 3-point game. Tatum working hard at 49. Fall away and hits. Oh, how clutch has he been? 19 to lead all scorers. Jamal Tatum, a 1-point game. And 44 seconds, about 11-second shot clock difference.
Bill Self wants a timeout to handle this last 37 seconds, 26 left on his shot clock. But Jamal Tatum, the guts of a burglar. What a player.
Hey, it's March Madness, 7:17 to play. Let's see what's going on. Memphis and Texas A&M. A&M down by 3 as they try to cut into that lead somewhat. And a foul as AC Law went towards the basket. So just over 7 minutes to play in that one. So we have 2 very tight ball games, one closer to the end than the other. Robert Dozier picking up his 3rd personal foul there. Non-shooting foul, no bonus yet to be shot for Texas A&M. Inbounding underneath. They have to bring it all the way out. Joseph Jones not interested in shooting it from out there. Clock winding down towards the 7-minute mark. Kavalauskas working inside, won't go, but the foul is there for Joseph Jones, and A&M is back within one. Now let's get back to the final 37 seconds. Kansas with the ball in a 1-point lead over Southern Illinois.
Clocks. Kansas by 1. All right, Jay Billis, you're the coach. Here's the situation. Do you foul now, or do you just play tough defense and hope you can stop KU?
I think you go for the steal right away, Dick. If you don't get the steal, I would think very seriously about fouling and extending this game. Kansas, not a great free throw shooting team. It's a 1-point game. Even if they were to knock down both, it's still a 1-possession game. That way you can extend the game. But it depends. You don't want to foul Mario Chalmers, although he has missed some free throws in this game. Robinson wouldn't be a bad choice. He shoots about 64%.
Julian Wright shooting 63% with the pick. Chalmers. Ooh, a near steal by Young. And another successful drive by Brandon Rush. He's been perfect tonight. 6 for 6. Final seconds tick away. Shot clock off. And Southern Illinois will spend its final timeout. Trailing by 3. 17.8 seconds remain. Kansas leading Southern Illinois. More Brandon Rush, a perfect night from the floor, 6 out of 6, leading Kansas to a 3-point lead. 17 seconds to go. There's always that issue. Do you foul with a 3-point lead late in the game?
Not with this much time. There's 17.8 seconds left. There is way too much time to consider fouling right now. If it's down under 5 and you got a 3-point lead, that's when you pull the trigger on a foul, but not now. That extends the game, and that's exactly what Southern Illinois wants to happen.
Southern Illinois needs a 3 to tie. Do they try to go for a quick 2? That's going to take more time now as Tatum has to get the ball in the backcourt.
Yeah, they do not need a 3, but if you can find an open one, you go ahead and take it.
Tatum fires, and it's not there. Falker gives the Southern Illinois another chance. Lost the ball. Hesitated on the pass right at the other end. And a foul. Mullins racing down court to save the easy basket with 2.2 seconds left. Falker hesitated on the pass, and it just trickled out of his hands.
Well, it was a great offensive rebound going up over the top of Lodrick Stewart, but he just didn't want to throw the ball away, and you got to give a lot of credit to Russell Robinson because he's the guy that jumped out in that passing lane and essentially forced that turnover by Randall Falker. Russell Robinson has been great tonight on both ends of the floor, but especially on the defensive end. No, we're bigger than that.
Julian Wright makes this win. It all but seals the win. Oh, pressure on the shoulders of the sophomore from Chicago Heights, and Bill Self wants time. 2.2 seconds, not a lot of time for Southern Illinois, and if Wright makes that free throw, it should be Kansas's night.
And we'll find out if it is. We'll have you back there just as soon as they're ready to shoot that last free throw, one that could ice it for Wright. Meanwhile, Texas A&M has regained the lead over Memphis. Still plenty of time to play in this one. 6:15 is what's left. A little pressure for A&M off the inbound, and they will drop it back as Kansas brings the ball forward. Texas A&M in their maroon dark uniforms, and Memphis in white. Oh, an air ball from on top on a 3. That will be costly. Still almost 6 minutes to play in this one. Now final 2.2 seconds. Southern Illinois hoping for a miracle against Kansas.
Missed this free throw.
If Julian Wright were to miss this free throw, you would want a foul.
The quick throw to Young. Young to win it. Or to tie it, rather. That 3 would have tied it, and Bill Self, it was a struggle, and what a defensive war. Self and Lowry with admiration for the way their two teams fought defensively the entire night. And the number 1 seeds, the Kansas Jayhawks, have advanced to the Final 8 with a hard-earned 61-58 victory over Southern Illinois. Young
So the last gasp by Southern Illinois, not enough. Bill Self and Kansas survive their Sweet 16 matchup with the Salukis and become the first team to advance to the 2007 Elite Eight. That in the West region, so the #1 seed safely through to the Elite Eight. They will await the winner of Pittsburgh and UCLA, which is coming later on here on ESPN as the second game of our featured doubleheader of Sweet 16 action. Meanwhile, we're getting down towards the conclusion in the South Regional semifinal down in San Antonio, where A&M and Memphis battling it out with 5:58 left.
So that could increase in significance as time goes by. AC Law, All-American point guard for Texas A&M. Held in check for the most part tonight.
Pretty much. Terrific defense. They've alternated people on them. And they've got to get free, the two guards. Kirk, they go deep. The home run to Jones.
Joseph Jones. Dorsey's got to be careful. And he affected the shot. Memphis trying to reclaim a lead. They were up by as many as 5. Donald Sloan, the backup point guard, put the Aggies up 59-58 on a layup with 6:15 remaining in the game. And here is Chris Douglas Roberts, Antonio Anderson. Memphis has hit only 2 of its last 9 from the field.
And Memphis with a great setup there. Perimeter dribble, the weave. Pretty much our generation in the back cut, but collecting at the point of attack. Texas A&M solid D.
Now Donald Sloan on for Josh Carter. Carter is playing with 4 fouls. Dorsey from Memphis also playing with 4 fouls.
Memphis has started to press and do a good job of that. Look at the foul from the rear by Law. The fumble helped Allen.
That's the first foul on AC Law.
And Vern, making the free throws, you've alluded to it all game. They struggle on the free throw line. If they, well, it's not a shooting situation, but they've got to score to impact this press. Texas A&M has been vulnerable the last couple of trips. They had a timeout on inbound and then a turnover.
Anderson finds Dozier. Andre Allen, nice drive. And a free throw coming.
And Law with the push. Oh my goodness, trailing, something you seldom see. Right here, the little bump by Dozier gets the angle. And how about this, hang him with it, the concentration, the delivery. Oh, gracious, amongst the bigs as well.
11 of 17 at the line, and the little fella is not all that adept at free throws. 51% for the season. That looked pretty authoritative.
There you are, Mr. Lundquist. And they don't get the press set up. They back it off.
Memphis by 2, 5:21 to go. As you can see, this one has been back and forth. 16 lead changes. There's the pass into Kavalauskas. What a dish.
Oh, this team inside. What a negation by Dozier. They're a terrific inside passing team. Their hands are extraordinary. Vision, position. Oh.
6 blocked by the Tigers tonight. 5:10 to go. Billy Gillespie, John Calipari, the respective coaches. Dominic Kirk, guarded by Allen.
How about Dozier knocking shots back? I mean, he'd be very handy in church, huh? Taking a collection.
Look at Kavalauskas look down and check the line. Absolutely.
Look at this load up. This is dangerous.
AC Law. Jones leaning back.
Nice
Kirk.
deep pass. What a great look.
That pretty.
Oh, Kirk delivery. But the load up by Jones, and he's hobbling, by the way, Vern. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's limping as he goes back. His calf's bothering him. He might have a cramp. They look like they might be in a, let's see, either the zone or it's a triangle in 2. Billy Gillespie going through his bag of tricks. Now this is a nice wrinkle. You must rebound. It's really 3-on-3.
Josh Carter's out on Andre Allen.
Bring it down and give it to Dorsey.
Not there. Chase it down, and it'll be Aggie ball.
Boy, the wrinkle work confused Memphis, threw them off. Tigers attack. Not what it should be.
Billy Gillespie, 3rd year as a head coach at A&M, is going to go to his bench. sends Sloan in, and Joe Jones is limping badly.
I think it might be a cramp, just a guess, the way he was reacting.
Jeremy Hunt is on the floor now for Memphis, number 5. He'll replace Andre Allen.
And they're stretching him out behind the bench there.
So on the floor for the Aggies now, AC Law, Josh Carter, Kirk, Donald Sloan, and Kavalauskas. Under 4 to play.
Inside game not as tough now. Should be perimeter oriented.
Dorsey battling Kavalauskas.
And that's not a bad idea. Dorsey's backed off twice now. Let the big guy get a touch low. Now they do a ball screen with him.
7 on the shot clock. Switch with Dorsey. 3 on the shot clock. Off the rim, the putback.
Oh! Staying with it! Well, we talked about his ability in the lane. The floater has been going, but hanging tough with the putback.
Mr. Clutch.
That's him.
Comes alive in the last 4 minutes. We have 3:10 remaining in this one. Douglas Roberts.
Well, no question about his ankle. That was explosive and athletic at the rim.
3 to go.
1-4 now. Late ball screen. He tries to turn and deliver. Let's see what they do.
Antonio Anderson is guarding AC Law. 15 on the shot clock. 2:40 to go in the game.
Keep him in front. That's the key now if you're Memphis. No, he went for the crossover.
There's Sloan penetrating. Kicks it back to Law for 3. This one does not go, and Dorsey has another rebound. Douglas Roberts.
You're going to have to help. He's so good with the dribble, and they get the bump outside on Kirk. Fatigue setting in. They can't move the puppies, Vern.
3rd foul, Dominic Kirk. We're tied at 63 with 2:09 to go. On your right, bottom line, 12 of 18 from Memphis at the free throw line. 61% for the season, but they've been outstanding for the most part in the NCAA tournament. Texas A&M with 8 fouls, Memphis with 5. They also have the possession arrow. And Chris Douglas Roberts is going to the line. AC Law. Douglas Roberts, 5 of 6 in this game. He's got 15 points. He is 19 of 22 for the tournament. So if you want to put your best free throw shooter on the line, you got him.
Ooh. And they take the shooter. That's how basic this game is. Fundamentally sound, and not the real pure stroke you're accustomed to. Chris Douglas Roberts. There's an inside screen to get Kavalauskas to the box.
Carter blocked by Dorsey.
Oh!
And a foul on Dorsey. That's 5.
That is it. What a reaction by the big fella. Coming down the stretch, he knows how important it is. He reads it and reacts, and you can see there is definitely a big physical bang. He just didn't get the right angle to swoop behind and then reach for the basketball. Of course, everybody that blocks shots feels, I got all the ball, and up top, no question he did.
63-63, 150 remaining. Now Josh Carter is going to go to the line for the Aggies. And over the course of the season, 79% free throw shooter.
And as a team, they're 71%. Jones is back, by the way. He was in on that last free throw, so they've got him resuscitated, although he is walking gingerly.
Carter will shoot 2. First trip to the line tonight. Carter with 4 fouls. Kirk, Jones, and Pompey with 3. Dorsey has fouled out. Dozier and Cooper with 3 each. One more for Josh Carter. A 1-point A&M lead. Donald Sloan on for Carter for the Aggies.
They got to match up on the perimeter because their ability to turn the corner Memphis and create either for themselves or others. Kirk on Roberts, big matchup. He's trying to deny him totally.
Best defender on best scorer.
And
here they are.
High ball screen. Got to get some help.
There's the screen and the slip.
A nice job by Jones.
Back outside to Allen. AC Law guards him. 8 on the shot clock. Joseph Jones underneath. Loose ball. Law saves it.
What a play by Law. Oh. They're going to hold it again. They've been doing this of late. And Jones is ambling to the corner there in the left part of your screen, Vern. He is struggling.
1 minute to go. The winner gets either Ohio State or Tennessee. Timeout, Texas A&M. 54.1 remaining. Aggies by 1.
Right down to the wire, March Madness rolling on here on ESPN. Texas A&M holding on to a 1-point advantage over Memphis. Just 54 seconds on the clock. So A&M with the ball and the lead. One of these teams will book passage to the Elite Eight, becoming the second team to do so in this 2007 tournament. Kansas vanquished Southern Illinois just moments ago to claim the first spot. The next one will be decided within minutes. That's leading us toward our next game, the doubleheader. Game number 2, Pittsburgh will take on UCLA. An outstanding matchup. Ben Howland, the former Pittsburgh coach who lifted that program most of the way towards where it is right now before leaving for UCLA, will face his former team. For now, though, more business to attend to at the Alamo Dome. Let's send you out to Vernon Bill.
Dominique Kirk will inbound. Kavalauskas, Law, Joseph Jones, and Josh Carter on the floor for the Aggies. Oh, he lost it.
Are they going to say it's off Memphis?
Yes.
And no argument.
I think Law, obviously, he knew that. But what a chance to take, huh?
It sure was. And right here, you can just see how he caught it on the foot.
Yeah.
You know? Boy, it's tough to cross over.
And the shot clock, Bill, is at 8.
Yeah, in the backcourt. Yeah, they called the timeout with 13. So they should not let Law get it or Kirk forcing a difficult. Let the bigs get it.
And they go for the home run. Law, Anderson back. Missed it. Allen with the rebound. Ooh. 40 seconds to go. Jumper, Hunt. No. Anderson offensive board. Allen passes on the shot.
They got the timeout.
AC Law misses from point-blank range. Timeout and the possession arrow. And another look at AC Law.
Well, they do a great job on the home run, the step and go. And you can just tell at the end of the nice bump by enough to throw him off, but fatigue a factor. You don't get enough lift, enough oomph in the delivery. And Law, who's been so sound all year in these special situations, came up empty that trip.
Now for the Tigers, Antonio Anderson is joined by Robert Dozier, Andre Allen, Chris Douglas Roberts, and Jeremy Hunt. And Douglas Roberts is enjoying the moment.
Well, he's the guy that's going to get it. You've got to be ready. You've got to contain, and you must rebound if you're A&M on the miss. Counter that with Memphis, the possibility of hitting the rim for a follow.
Shot clock off. 25.8 to go. Allen, Antonio Anderson. Roberts on the baseline, deep left. Antonio Anderson, back to Hunt. Here's Allen for 3, off the rim. Hunt, no! The putback, No! Now again!
They got a foul. Oh, how many opportunities to rebounding. So essential all game long. You've got to come up with the long one, the rundown. This is just great pursuit. Oh, how about the open look as Jeremy Hunt comes up empty, and that's the foul right there.
Antonio Anderson at the line. He's 1 for 4 tonight. Woo. We're tied.
They're going to make him think about it. A&M with the timeout.
Oh, we're going to catch our breath.
Scrape right across the chest. It intrudes on the shot selection. But twice now going after it. It was the correct call. Anderson's got to gather himself. Don't get on the line too soon.
Antonio Anderson, 2 of 5 tonight for the year, 64%. He shoots 1 for the lead.
And Vern, if he makes it or misses, they can get all the way up the floor and get a layup in 3-1. Wow. Early onions.
Memphis leads by 1.
Oh, they get it to the wrong. Oh, they get a break here. Terrific defense. They had Jones be the only outlet. Is that great organization on the fly?
Texas A&M calls time.
Wow.
Is on the clock.
Well, on that inbounds, it was touched, so they'll have to go at least maybe 2/10. Wouldn't you say, Vern?
I think so, yes.
But they are very fortunate. Jones didn't think the pass was for him, and Memphis defensively had just stepped in to play him. And Memphis are going to take a look at what you're going to look at now. See where Jones, he doesn't even know it's for him. And Dozier with a pretty good reaction. Yeah, they're going to have to give 1 or 2 tenths. Yeah.
The clock never started.
Right.
You can see Dozier touch it, goes out of bounds.
So it's maybe 1. Just it can't be much more than 2/10, I don't think. It's a judgment call by the officials.
65-64 as Antonio Anderson knocks down 2 with 3.1 left, and another look.
Well, we know this is a high-profile game, but these refs have responded beautifully, I think. I mean, the athleticism exhibited in the first half, the woo-woo pace, and some critical calls, and by and large, right on top of everything. Just have a little trouble with their egg beater timer here.
Carl Hess, John Hughes, and Joe Lindsay are the officials. Now they want to see it in normal speed. And there it is.
Almost immediate, huh? Come on, guys, make your mind up.
Well, this is a rather lengthy interruption.
Well, you know, it's unfortunate because both teams now lingering, and you know, the anticipation. You know, they just got to come up with a number.
Yep. Well, Hank Nichols.
Hank can give him a number.
Hank Nichols is sitting right behind us a long time. Supervisor of officials, and they're going to look at it one more time. Yeah, Dozier with a handout.
It's got to be a couple of tenths anyhow. Let's see what they do.
This is Carl Hess.
2/10. 2-9. Wow.
2-0.
Ooh, that was a banger. Now that presents, you've got to throw the ball into the front court. So you've got to do either a down screen or a back screen lob and then pop to the ball. Jones looks like he's inbounding it.
Bill, how do you find 1.1 seconds to take off the clock?
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And we saw the same thing.
So they have taken 1.1 off the clock. And the Aggies are left with 2 seconds flat. Down by 1.
It looked like they're going to try to screen low and get him to turn up the floor. If you're Memphis, want to keep him going the other way.
Jones inbounds. Dominic Kirk. Memphis wins.
So Memphis pulls it out. The number 2 seed is on through to the Elite 8. The South Regional Final. For our entire crew, I'm Mark Brown. So long for now. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. But don't go anywhere. Game 2 of our doubleheader coming your way. Pitt versus UCLA.